So I want to emphasize that this video is not for everybody. This is just for those who are really looking to understand how to make high-level decisions. If you're a very competitive player and you want to learn, this is the video for you. So hopefully you enjoy. Alright, as you can tell from the title, what we're going to discuss today is how not to approach the net. I'm going to use Donald Young versus Kei Nishikori here. I think they played in the 2014 Australian Open. And so what we want to, you want to take a note of, it looks like Donald's always rushing to get into the net, and that's not the way to, play winning net play. So here's actually one point he does win, but he does get pretty lucky as far as what's about to transpire. So he hits the approach here, and in that spot right there, Nishikori has a really good look at a pass. Donald does an incredible job of picking that up, and Kei just, all he has to do is lob over the backhand here. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but the game is very fast for the guys, so I guess he's human too. But here you can see, like, this is the situation Donald was in, that you want to avoid at all costs when you're playing. You do not want your opponent completely balanced, hitting a forehand or backhand from inside the singles lines. This is a very difficult position to win from. So that's really, the main problem with how Donald came in too many times in this match, and he's not aware of this situation. So that's really a big one that he needs to take out of the playbook. Now, what I will say here is, if Donald could have been, right when he hits that, he can make the read to come in or not, but you cannot be anywhere near that service line hitting the volley against these professional players. They're just too fast and too accurate to miss those on a consistent basis. Obviously, Donald was able to, get I think he went up 4-1 in that first set, and, he got very lucky that Kei missed so many opportunities to pass. But after that 4-1, I think he won one or two more games after that, and the point total does represent that. And what I don't want to do is, I don't want to get caught with saying that Donald's playing completely wrong. There's just some situations that would be better served for him to see what the ball does, make better reads than just charging in. Got another point here. I mean, again, this is a very easy lob for Nishikori. You see Donald hits a good serve here. He could have come in on the serve because he got Kei to chip it. Okay, so now he's got kind of a short ball. He's in between the service line and the baseline. He just decides he's coming in, and Kei is able to get the ball low on him, which a good passer will be able to get the ball low on you. So, and now this is just a very simple read. I mean, Kei's hitting a winner, in the middle of the court near the service line. That is too easy for him. So these are things that Donald has to, clean up if he wants to. Kei at this point was probably playing top 5 in the world tennis. Again, Donald is a guy that I believe can be still a top 5 or 10 player, but he has to correct all these little micro decisions that he's not coming up with. He can't let these guys get into these easy situations. And so here's the next point where, I mean, he's running in, and he was going to get a tough volley there. Again, let's take a look. Here he goes. There's a good close-up of Kei, but great little power block return there. Not so, an okay pickup, but Kei's getting the pretty good look at a backhand. Good pickup there. Good backhand. this is an incredible forehand, but he's going kind of sideways and backwards, and now he's running in. If that goes over the net, he's going to be stuck hitting a half volley. Now Kei is a little bit off the court, but Kei's too fast for that. That would not work. Alright, so what you can see here is the match summary, and I mean, if you look at these net points, 15 of 30, and most of those came in those first 5 or 6 games. And so, total points 93 to 56. That's not gonna cut it at that level. That's a situation that, Donald has to take a good look at what he's doing, and trying to avoid these situations. Yeah, so coming up, this next clip I have is, a situation where Nishikori is brought up into the court but doesn't take the bait, and he really hustles back to get into decent position. I think he ends up winning the point, but these guys are just trying to avoid situations where they're giving your opponent an easy ball or an easy target to beat you. So you see Kei moves up, he could have come in, hits it kind of middle line, and he works his way back, and that's really important for these, the young players learning how these pros actually play. So here you can take a look, Kei is going to hit a pretty good cross-court middle, cross-court backhand, and put Donald on the run, pressuring him, and Donald will give up kind of a short ball. But Kei, once he gets up there, these are split decisions they have to make in the moment. And you can see once he hits the ball, he could decide to run in if he really wants to. But these guys, he scurries out of there pretty quick. You can see a little cross under step, and then he gets himself back near that baseline by the time Donald's hitting. I thought Donald could have ripped it harder through the middle to scoot Kei more back, but that's fine. And so the point continues. But these are things that you want to pay attention to when you're playing. You don't want to just be running in because you have forward momentum. That's not what you want to be doing. That is a good way to start getting past. And even if your coaches are sitting there cheering, it's okay. They hit a good shot. Do not give your opponent easy targets to hit to beat you. So now we're going to take a look at obviously the man, Nadal. A couple points where he gets similar ball after the serve, and he has to make a decision whether to come in or not. And this first point he did not, I don't because he didn't hit a good enough shot. This one he's a little bit shorter. He's basically already into the net, and you can see what Nishikori is able to do, even though he hits a pretty good approach. Probably should have approached Kei's either forehand or sent the approach more middle or deep. But so here you'll see Nadal hits a good serve, gets Kei a little bit stretched, and you can see the ball is going to land a little short, and Nadal gets a little bit of a forward momentum into the ball, and he can decide to come in. And right when he hits that ball, he is getting one big step back, and now making that little stagger split, and now they're going to work the point from there. So that's real important to pay attention to these situations when you're playing. Is just because you have forward momentum doesn't mean you have to come into the net. I cannot emphasize that enough. So here's the next point where you'll see Nadal. He'll get another. It's another good serve. Not the next point, but the next probably a few points later. So again, now he's got an even shorter ball. He's basically already at the net. So he has to come in. And you can see, so he has better court position. And he comes in, and you can see what Nishikori's still able to do. So this is an even more advantageous position for Nadal, but someone like Nishikori is so fast and so gifted at hitting. He can hit that shot like a cannon down the line, or just like that cross court. And so you can see these are the reasons why you see guys like Nadal, they hesitate to come into the net, because it is very difficult as the game has evolved. For the net rusher, you have to come in on very specific situations that are advantageous. And really the last guy that I saw that did that well would be Rafter, and he had 3 very distinct situations that I get into in some of my other videos. So if you are looking for some insight on that, you can copy and paste some of the Rafter situations to find your way to the net. Now here we're gonna take a final look here at another situation where Donald is basically on the baseline, and he's gonna come in behind that, and I'm not really sure what he's thinking there. That's how not to come in. I mean, you can see Nick Shikori's in great position too. This is just not a very intelligent approach, especially at a crucial moment late in the first set. I mean, Nishikori's going to eat this up. Again, there's a few mistakes there. The approach, he's too far back. When he started the approach, Nishikori's in great position. He approaches outside of the middle. There's just a lot of mistakes there. Nishikori can angle that, and he can hit it there. That is, you're hoping that the guy just misses on his strong. That's his strength. That's Nishikori's strength. So that's why those numbers show up there at the end of the match, as you can see. Now I'm going to get some coaches that are going to tell me that that's a good move, good play by Donald. And I'm going to disagree. Look at the level of pass from his opponent. That is too good of a passing shot artist over there. And we are not in the 1970s. That is not going to work. That's a ball that Donald can chip down the line, but he needs to get back and wait another ball to look to do some damage. So if you get anybody that tells you you need to come in on that ball, you need to take it in within context of who you're playing against. If you're playing somebody that just can't hit any passing shots, well, yeah, sure, that's going to work, but that is not the case, and Donald is playing against guys that are unreal at hitting passing shots. So that's not the situation. That's not the game you want to play. That's not how you want to be losing points in critical moments. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully I didn't piss anybody off with the don't come into the net stuff. A lot of coaches still say that, but be selective and smart when you come into the net. Don't just kamikaze and just come in because you just have forward momentum. That is not what the top players do. So hopefully that helps. Done.